I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear from Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Can't see, but meeting and experiencing each of you and sitting next to the amazing Bella Verita.
So how lucky are you? And you just got off the phone with Chris Crone, who was like in that video that we just
That is very true. Yes, that is very, very funny.
How fun is that?
Yes.
So we got a couple of people here from, there's this crew that you speak on his stage. Tony something or other.
Yes, the big man.
Yeah,
Tony
Robbins, that's his name. Yeah, we got a few friends here
Changed
today.
my life, impacted it in every way. In fact, I said that in the video too. So
yeah.
who's here?
So who's here? First off, we got Platt from Miami, Mr. Bentley, works with NFL alumni to customize their health protocols, Sean.
I like this.
Working with degenerative medicine and use how the body creates and regenerates and rises with its optimization. And his slogan is wellness for all. Let's welcome Mr. Ben Lee. Yes. What do you prefer, Ben or Benjamin?
Either or. Ben's easier.
Ben, how are you, Ben?
Hey, Ben. Fantastic. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, love your mission and what you're up to in the world. How did you get involved in helping professional athletes?
Actually, through happenstance. Been trying to biohack my entire body since I was a teenager. Took everything I could that came out, and I've been going to Tony since 2005, and so I got the mindset right. But then it wasn't until the last several years where I actually figured out what the body needs. And once you understand that, then it makes it so much easier to achieve the goals that you want.
Awesome, brother. And what's your fun fact?
Fun fact.
Something we might not expect, something like, whoa, for example, what's your fun fact? Let's illustrate.
So my fun fact is I learned to ski and surf from a blind dude.
No way.
Yes.
That guy must be amazing.
He's all right. He's all right.
Something Ben, be like, wow, really? For me, I jumped off my parents' roof into their pool. And after one of my friends perhaps wet their bed as a high school student, my parents were away, I put their comforter in the deep end for 2 days because I did not know how to use the washing machine, and my parents never knew. That would be my fun fact.
Oh, I have another fun fact.
Yes.
So I once out-wrestled
oh my God.
a professional high school wrestling athlete. I actually out-wrestled him on Necker Island.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Yes. Ben, don't believe everything that you read on social media. So what is your fun fact, my friend?
I ran a half marathon literally after waking up drunk the night before in Spain, because they're like, hey, you want to run a half marathon? I'm like, yeah, sure. And they're like, okay, it's tomorrow. I'm like, okay, let's go. And did 13.1 miles the next day.
Let's hear from Ben.
Oh my goodness.
So awesome job. Well, welcome to the party, brother, and thanks for being here.
I once ran a 5K as a birthday party. I had all of my friends dress up in tutus and run a 5K as a birthday party for myself. There may have been some tequila involved in that too.
Yes,
so
I am not confused. So who else do we have here?
So rolling with Mr. Ben Lee, we have I already forgot Kevin
Wathi, you're close. So close. We're getting there.
Wathi. Also Clap from Scottsdale, Arizona, the owner of Synchronicity, podcast host of The Systems for Success, life and business strategist for online entrepreneurs, and an international transformational retreat facility. I know what that's code for. I'm not sure if you know what that's code for, but I know what that's code for.
So these are one of your people.
That's one of my people.
Yes. And so who is this? Come
This is
on,
Kevin.
Jim, let's hear it for him.
Oh, my bad. This is Kevin Wathi.
Kevin, I know, of course it was. We always give somebody a round of applause. So Kevin, how are you?
I am absolutely fantastic. Thank you for having me.
So is there like a journey involved in some of this that we're learning about that you're up to?
There is a massive journey. Depends on how much time. Depends on how much time you want to go down. The yoga and mindfulness element came because I lost my mother to pancreatic cancer when I was 17. And after talking about running the half marathon, she actually got diagnosed because she ran a triathlon, and she had back pain after the triathlon. And to take the long story short here, she ran her first ever triathlon. 3 months later, had back pain, so she went and got an MRI. They said she had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, metastasized to every major organ, and gave her 3 months to live. This was in December of 2009. January 2010, she sat me and my younger sister down and said she was going to spend one more Christmas with us. Mm-hmm. And she passed away December 26th at 10 a.m. at home with us. So the experience that led up to that and that followed that was a lot of ups and downs. But now where I'm at today, reflecting back on that shows that the power of the mind and power of what we're able to accomplish when we make a choice and make a decision and choose to show up how we want to for others and how we want to for ourselves, that anything you tell yourself that's a limiter is only something that's in your own psyche and nowhere else in the world.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you. And I'm speechless. So thank you. And how about Kevin, your fun fact?
My fun, to go on to a more comical note here, to shift gears, here we go. So after high school, went and played some professional hockey. Hockey led me to acting. I moved to LA. The very first audition I ever had for acting was for a Showtime show, and I peed my pants in the audition.
That is absolutely, utterly outrageous. I once made my ex-wife so angry that she peed her pants. That actually happened too. And my fun fact is I told my children that in Jackson Hole, Wyoming this week. So that's my fun fact.
That is fun.
Yes. So Kevin, amazing that he's here. And who else is here?
So rolling with Kevin and Ben, we have Angelica Del Priori.
Thank God. Because this is like the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Because we had a real raw earlier with all men, and then we had amazing Kevin and Ben. I'm like, where are the women?
We got a couple great women. She's the owner of a consulting company. What's the name of it?
Well, okay, because I did not send a bio, and I'm in a transition right now. So I've been in corporate America, corporate the beauty industry called cosmetics, fragrance, and all of the above skincare hair care for 20 years, working at some of the biggest corporations like L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Shiseido recently, and Rodan and Fields. And I build brands, multidisciplinary creative teams to enable them to have a cohesive story across every single touch point. And I just love making things. Okay. People call me ADP because when I was in college, I would get the, hey, are you coming out? I'm like, I'm working on a project. They're like, okay, your new name is always doing projects. So that's, it kind of stuck.
ADP Angelica.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That is fun. Well, welcome, Angelica, to The Real Raw.
Yeah, and what is your fun fact, Angelica? Is that your fun fact that you were ADP, Angelica?
No, I have so many fun facts. It's scary. No, but I'll just give you a quick one. When I was younger, I worked at Hallmark, and they asked me to dress up as Barney and stand outside. And I loved it so much. I freaked so many of my friends out because they didn't know I'd be standing out there in a Barney's costume. And I'm like, hey, Christine, how's it going? Like, how do you know who I am? But it was really, that's one of my fun facts. But I grew up in New York, have a lot of interesting stories growing up. And I am a first-time Date with Destiny / Business Mastery, Tony Robbins, Platt member. And I'm loving it so much. Yeah, it's been amazing. And thank you for having me.
No, Angelica, thank you so much for being here. So we have Angelica.
We have Angelica.
We have Ben. We have Sam. Yes.
No, we have Kevin.
We have Sam too.
No, Sam was our earlier show.
Sam disappeared in the multiverse and didn't come back. You said that Sam was going to be here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I was like, did I get confused?
No, go.
I didn't go on any retreats between the last Real Raw and this Real Raw, so I was a little confused. Yes. All right. So rolling with us, we have Charlie Fisher from Palm Beach, Florida, also a Platt, Sean. Spent 10 years in the financial service advisor and VP of Ameriprise Financial Services at Morgan Stanley. Joined Raymond James in 2021 because of it being renowned for its clients' first values. He's been vice chairman and committee member of the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum since 2015 and is a life member of American Legion. Let's welcome Charlie Fisher.
Charlie.
Thank you. Thanks.
Is our audience going on journeys along the progression?
Yes.
So,
well, thank you for having me. I'm certainly grateful for you guys doing that. I'm a 30-year veteran, so it's 10 times 3. So we have our first family that we ever served. Our mission at Encore is to have successful families have an encore in their life, to take care of their families. We take care of their personal financial things so that they can find the joy that they need by taking care of their family, their friends. We handle all the financial issues by doing a virtual family office for folks. So,
beautiful. And Charlie, what was your what branch of the military?
Army.
Wow, and thank you,
military police officer.
Thank you for your service and for helping us be free.
Appreciate that. I should have paid them. I had such a great time in Germany. I went away every weekend, went skiing in Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein. It was great. It was a wonderful opportunity to serve.
Where did you enjoy skiing in Switzerland?
Well, actually, it was more in Liechtenstein that we did, but we went every weekend somewhere else. I'm trying to remember where we skied in Switzerland.
Did you ski Zermatt or no?
That sounds. You know what? There might have been some alcohol involved, so I can either.
I love this.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
It's a Platt crew.
Yes. The underbelly of Platt. We talk about Platt after dark. So
exactly.
Charlie, what's your fun fact?
Okay, so in 1981, when I was 16, I was on the stage with a punk band called Fear on Saturday Night Live. And my mother wanted to kick me out of the house because it was the first time that people saw on national television what people call a mosh pit, which we just used to stage dive and everything else. And Lorne Michaels was not too happy, pulled the plug, and we got we got thrown out. So it was good. The band and everybody had no idea. It was actually a condition of John Belushi coming on the show.
I did amazing. John Belushi, God rest his soul. So thank you for sharing that. And I was in the Four Seasons main handlebar restaurant, I think is the name of it. And I was there with my 18, 20, and 22-year-old college-age children last week. Mm-hmm. And the last time we were there, about 4 years ago, Jim Belushi was there, came off his table, hit the dance floor, and played for an hour and a half Blues Brothers songs. So
wow.
we're awesome. Back, like out of nowhere. Like it was just like, Jim Belushi's here. And I took the microphone and went. So brother, thank you so much for being here today. And again, thank you for your service.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bella?
So rolling with all these fine gentlemen and Angelica, we have Patience
Gerolomic.
Patience Gerolomic from Idaho attended business mastery, even though she was trained by Jay Abraham himself. I got a funny story about that later. She wasn't exposed to Tony until recently. Wow. She's driven and motivated with the joy of life, always looking to create more. And she is a mom and a super connector, as Malcolm Gladwell would define her. Let's welcome Patience.
Hello, how are you? I'm grateful to be here.
Patience, how are you?
Awesome. How are you?
I am doing awesome. And what is your fun fact?
Fun fact, I have so many. I've raced motocross, went the wrong way on the track. I thought I got the whole shot. I did not. Everyone was running like this to me and I had to turn around. And then I paraglided off Baldy Mountain in Sun Valley, Idaho. And I was so high, a plane flew underneath me.
Oh my God.
That is absolutely
That's
awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, and how long have you been in the Tony world?
We just barely was introduced to Tony Robbins. It's crazy. I was trained by Jay Abraham himself years ago, and I just didn't even think about Tony. He would bring him up, but I didn't even think about him. It wasn't, but I bet like 7 months ago, I became interested in Tony Robbins. My husband bought a book, and he's like, listen to this guy. And Jay talked about him. And then we started slowly and then we signed up for Platt, of course. And it's just rocked my world, sent me on a whole new direction. And I've enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed the Platt family. Totally love the Platt family. And just gaining momentum, just gaining growth and momentum. I love it.
Awesome. Patience. Thanks for being here. And thanks for bringing up Baldy Mountain. My association to Baldy Mountain is Tony. First time I ever went to Sun Valley. Skied there, was at a Tony financial event, and I have a fun story. If we have time, I'll share it later. But let's keep.
I can't share the fun story about Jay.
Yes, you can, but I had a different. I want to let you share that and not go into this.
Okay, can I tell you a really funny story about Jay Abraham that I think is hysterical? Where was that again?
Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So they were at what event was it?
Business Mastery 2.
A Business Mastery 2 event in Amsterdam. And so Jay is up on stage, like, doing his thing and doing his training. And like every 5 minutes, he goes, Sean, how am I doing? Sean, how am I doing? So Jay Abraham is checking in with Sean on how he's doing on his talk. So much so, Patience, that Tony from behind stage says, Jay, you're doing fine. Keep going. Is that not hysterical?
As the voice of God.
Awesome. Totally awesome.
Coming from that Olympus. So Jay and I had lunch before that, and he's like, just tell me how am I doing? I don't love public speaking. I mean, Jay's brilliant. Public speaking is not his favorite thing to do, ironically enough. And he's like, I might check in. And it was like, oh my God. I'm like, I want to crawl under my seat when Zeus showed up from Mount Olympus and Tony from behind the stage. So, but Patience, what was your work with Jay in your original training?
To be honest, it was just kind of like the Tony Robbins thing. I didn't even know who Jay Abraham was. We were buying and flipping real estate, and there was a company that would teach you how to do no money down. So we signed up for that. And they introduced this Jay Abraham guy. And we were sitting in a combine. And on this phone call, they're like, do you want to sign up for this extra bonus Jay Abraham beta test? And we were going to put in a wind project. and I needed a little bit more business information from them. And they said Jay would get me there. And so I signed up not having a clue who he was or what he represented. And then he rocked my world. I was on private calls with him constantly every week, one time for an hour with him. And then he caught me into his big, expensive seminar, and where I met and won over a billionaire to fund the Wind Project. Wow. And then that billionaire turned around and mentored me a little bit because that wind turbine project took a shift and I wasn't ready for it. And he mentored me through that. So Jay Abraham just, I don't want to take too much time from everyone, but I was labeled moderately retarded. And a federal IQ test told me that. And it just was a chain wrapped around myself for many years. And when Jay taught me, he's like, Patience, my greatest gift was my disability, because it set me apart from everyone else. And it set my thinking separate from everyone else. And that, Patience, is what it'll do for you. You have a fruitful mind. Go ahead and use it as a talent, use it as a gift. And it changed my world. And Tony Robbins now is changing it a total different atmosphere again. But that's my Jay Abraham, and many, many, many things and businesses I've helped with Jay Abraham's information.
Oh, it's amazing, Patience. Beautiful. Thank you. And Jay did not go to college, and he had some real learning challenges.
Yeah.
So you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So beautiful. So Patience, thank you. And are we up to you?
No, we got a lot more friends here today. We got a full house.
Well, let's get moving.
Yeah. We got like an Adam Gugino full house. Yes. Yeah. So next up, we have David Thomas from Denver, Colorado, new plat, signed up in December, has had an amazing 14-year relationship with his girlfriend, Christy, life-saving mobile app with three patents, allowing people to send and receive voice memos in areas without coverage in case of an emergency. Mr. Dave Thomas.
Yeah, I guess you're not supposed to clap for yourself here. You get in the habit.
Hey, do you go by David or Dave?
Thank you.
Is it David or Dave?
Either one. Probably David. I feel more grown up when people call me David, so maybe.
I love
do
it.
that.
So David, thank you for being here. What's your fun fact, David?
Well, my fun fact is that ever since I was 3 years old, I always wanted to race in the Baja, and I'm 63 years old. Still do. I will do this.
So when are you going to do
it? Within 2 years. Within 2 years.
Awesome. Let's pick a date. Let's pick a literal date.
Sean likes picking dates.
Okay. All right. So let's say November of 2023.
All right. Let's hear for David.
Woo! And is that your girlfriend of 13 years, Christy, there with you?
Yeah, that's her.
Christy, awesome. Hi. So you can hold David to his date?
Of course. You got it.
Awesome. And David, where are you and Christy coming from today?
We're in Colorado. We're in our camper here. We actually went through Business Mastery camping and then joining a group of plats and others in a hotel room and stuff. So it was kind of a nice way to do it.
Very nice.
We wake up every morning.
And you just joined Platt? You just joined Platt at BM?
At the beginning of December, yeah. I joined just in time to do Date with Destiny, which was amazing. Amazing.
And what prompted the decision to join Platt?
When I was at the end of Life Mastery, they presented it like they always do. And it was just like, I just knew I needed to do it. And it wasn't even like I went through a whole like, oh my God, or anything like that. It's just like, well, I knew this was going to be kind of a stretch for me, but I just knew that I needed to do it. And so pretty simple, really.
Yeah. Well, awesome. And congratulations. And it was
you.
One of the greatest decisions of my life. So welcome to the party and the family.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Pat D. DeMonico, also a Platt, was there on Sunday, had some really fantastic things to say about you and really enjoyed the event on Sunday.
Pat must be very confused.
I don't think so.
No,
works in property and finance markets in Australia, a place that we want to go.
Yes.
Trained and handled investments and with only the best interests of clients in mind, Mr. Pat D. DeMonico.
Here for Pat.
Did I mess up the last name? I apologize.
Hey guys, thanks very much for having us today.
Hey, Pat, thanks for being here, and appreciate the kind words. And what's your fun fact and mission in the world, brother?
So my mission would be to, I guess, look at things that I can do that will contribute to the world more, instead of looking at ventures that just purely contribute to my own benefit. I had the, I guess you could say, honor of having a brother that had a disability, cerebral palsy, through an accident, through a procedure at 2 years old. And from that, I guess you see the journey that a family can go through and experience, and the challenges. And I'd like to utilize my skills in property and so forth to be able to serve more towards areas that can help people such as my brother.
That is extraordinary. So Pat, deeply touched as a person with a disability and the grandson of a person with one. I think it shapes and changes the empathy potentially of a family in a beautiful way. I feel your heart, and thank you for sharing that.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, and what brought you, Pat, to Platt originally?
So Date with Destiny. So actually the story of how I got involved with Tony was I was gifted a UPW ticket for September virtual from a friend of mine. And from that, I joined Business Mastery. And then from joining Date with Destiny, I just had a constant feeling in my gut that this is where I needed to be. And so I made the commitment. And if I hadn't have joined Platt, I wouldn't have had the privilege of meeting yourself and attending your event on Sunday, and the beautiful things that that you do, and being able to see Beck and Siri and the stuff that they do. And so it was definitely worth the investment.
No, awesome, brother. Well, appreciate you being here. Your heart is felt. And yeah, we have Pat from Australia. What time is it in Australia, by the way?
So I'm 6:45 a.m.
You're tomorrow. Like, what's the future look like, brother? I'm sure you've never heard that joke before. No. So awesome. Thank you. So yeah.
All right. Last but not least, we have Charlene K coming in from Texas, maven from the world of construction, looking forward to the next steps in life. Mom of two, 1 month in Platt as a leader who leads and contributes and loves to volunteer, Miss Charlene K.
Charlene.
I got my lady friends.
Yes, thank goodness. Charlene, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for having me today. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here. And what is your fun fact?
Well, I thought of many because I'm the last one, but when one of the other gentlemen, he brought up being 3 years old and remembering something. So when I watched the Olympics and saw Peggy Fleming skate, instantly it's like, I want to be an ice skater. So anyway, at 3, it wasn't a good experience, but at 10 years old, I did start taking ice skating lessons. And I was very fortunate at the very beginning, maybe 10 days and 10 lessons into it, Peggy Fleming was at the rink and I got her autograph.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That is super. Yes. And what prompted you to make the decision to join Platt?
I'm totally reshaping my life. I just moved to Texas literally in November. And I've lived in California most of my life, lived in Oklahoma, lived in Idaho. And my son, I was supposed to move out here back in June. That's kind of a long story. There's a lot of trauma in my last year. But I moved out in November, and I don't want to draft and be in the construction business. It was very frustrating when I left. It was taking literally 12 to 15 weeks to get cabinets. It was, the materials was hard. And I've been doing that, been in and out of construction for the past 30 years. And I just want something completely new. I want to serve more. I want to share more. I want to be with people, because when you draft, a lot of times you're at home in your computer and you're all by yourself.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a few of Tony's programs, and I want to be more, I want to be around these people that have the same passion and the same love. And I would love to help people empower themselves and become better.
Awesome. Well, welcome to Platt, and appreciate all that you've been through as an example possibility, going through the trauma you've been, has occurred in your life, but you feel like your heart and your certainty that it's going to turn into something beautiful and wonderful. And so thank you for sharing that, Charlene.
She's shaking her head.
Thank you. Once again, I feel very fortunate you had me here today. So thank you.
Thank you. And so I feel fortunate to be sitting next to this woman.
Yeah, you definitely should. You are very fortunate.
I am very fortunate.
Yeah.
Started selling crafts on our front lawn as an 8-year-old. 19 years old, became a 7-figure earner in the space of network marketing. Then pivoted at the ripe old age of 24, became the numero uno business broker in the state of Nevada, first woman, youngest person ever, and now is the co-host of Real Raw, is my boss, tells me what to do all the time, and she's absolutely extraordinary, heart-centered, courageous, the one, the only co-host of Real Raw, Bella Verita. What is your fun fact?
My fun fact is it's hard being your boss. It is tiring. It is exhausting. In fact, I think it's time for a pay raise.
I think so. For me. All right. So, all right, let's get this thing rolling. So who's going first?
Let's go with Mr. Kevin. I feel like he's like ready to rock it.
Okay.
He's got some cool art behind him. He looks creative. His microphone is blue. Like
blue microphone tells
people.
me readiness. Your people. So Kevin, all we're doing is playing with the superpower of influence. Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, Bruce Springsteen, Herb Brooks, John Wooden, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett. What do all of these people have in common? They had the superpower of influence. They knew what to do with it and emotionally got themselves to use it. So we're playing with that, but not like pitching, hooking, closing, not overpowering, not taking, not 99 closing techniques, not Jordan Belfort, not Grant Cardone. Actually, I have a small bet with those guys. We'll talk about that later. Yes, so it's hello to yes with integrity, opening, listening, connecting in the heart, adding true value in some way, and remembering that this is not like a time rush to get to an ultimate yes. It could just be the next incremental yes, because yeses are built incrementally. Like we don't be like, hey, how are you, Bella? Would you like to go to Tahiti for 2 years? Like we don't start there. It might be like, wow, what brings you here? Would you like to have a cup of coffee? So how do we get the first yes in a 3-minute segment? So Kevin, Bella will be anybody you want her to be. She could be an ideal client. She could be Tony Robbins, whomever. It's the yes that you're looking for. Who would you like Bella to be, Kevin?
Bella, you are going to be a participant on a retreat.
Ooh, that may have happened before.
So Bella, this may not be a very hard yes. So take a second. All right. Hello, this is Stephanie. This is Bella.
Hi, Bella. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm not big one really for small talk, so I kind of want to just dive straight into the conversation. Is that okay with you?
Well, okay. What is this about?
I really just want to know kind of where you're at in your life, and to do so, I find the best way to focus on a negative and then find a way to convert it to a positive. So I guess the best question I think I have for you is like, what is something you failed at in the past 24 hours?
Something I failed at in the last 24 hours. Nothing is coming to mind in the last 24 hours. I made it to the gym, even though I didn't really want to go. Made all the calls I was supposed to make. I just got home from Disney World yesterday. So there's nothing. Nothing.
Maybe not 24 hours. Then what would be the last failure you can think of?
The last failure. I'll go with. I wouldn't consider it. Well, this is. I wouldn't even consider it a failure per se. Is suboptimal of hiring someone that maybe wasn't completely 100% totally right for the job, but really just needed to get someone in place.
Okay. And why would you consider bringing someone into your world who's not right for that space?
Because they needed someone immediately. So they couldn't do 100% of the things I needed them to do, but they could do, let's go with 80% of the things I needed them to do. And I was losing another team member. So it was something that we, needed to, and I wouldn't even say it's a fail. I wouldn't even call that a failure. It is, needing a lot more people. It's not even like the person's even the wrong fit. It's just like we need.
Yeah. No, I follow completely. Have you ever considered building a Rolodex and be continuously hiring?
Yeah, we pretty much do that.
Yeah, you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a Rolodex of hires.
Gotcha. And what's been the biggest lesson you've learned from that continuous hiring?
People are always looking for something greater.
100%.
Yes.
Is that time?
Yes.
Ooh, very nice work. Yes. All right, let's see what the judges have to say in a moment. Who's up?
We have Mr. Ben Lee.
Ben, who would you like Bella to be?
You're on mute, Ben.
You can literally be anybody. Anybody you want.
Okay.
So maybe you could be Oprah.
I was going to be Sean Callagy.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Hello, this is Sean.
Hi, Sean. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I wanted to wish you a happy new year. How's your new year been so far?
So far, so good. So far, so good. Business is growing. I have an amazing girlfriend who's absolutely incredible and amazing to me in so many ways. So it's definitely been a great year so far.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Are there any particular New Year's resolutions that you have planned for this year?
Maybe eating slightly less cheese on my pizza.
That's great.
And I would say our biggest goal, I wouldn't even say resolution because I don't really do resolutions, is more of, just great growth and acceleration.
Awesome. So how do you plan?
And you know what? Actually, to become a better manager. I've been reading books around becoming a better manager and growing in that area.
Awesome. So how do you plan on fueling that?
Fueling that, did you say?
Yeah. How do you plan on fueling that particular goal?
Well, I do. I read, study a lot. I follow a lot of great leaders like Tony Robbins, Jay Abraham. So, I get a lot of mentoring and follow a lot of great leaders that way.
Awesome. That's great. Well, as much as, the mind is so important, the body is extremely important as well. So, one of the things that, I would, suggest you focus on is your body, because, without, alignment between the mind and the body, you really can't accomplish, whatever goal you set for. So have you ever done any type of testing before with regards to understanding exactly what your body needs to fuel any type of passion or mission that you're currently focused on?
I have done, I don't know if you are familiar with the Tenet Institute in Dallas, Texas, but I have gone through their whole protocol. I have the charging machines and the shakes and the vitamins and all of that stuff. So that is one thing that I have done for my health. And then I recently worked with a couple of gentlemen and spit in a tube so they could tell me some things about my body. So those are a couple things that I've done.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. We do a lot of the same things as well. And we actually go very deep into looking at blood's genetics and metabolomics. So I'd love to set up a call with you.
I absolutely love having my blood drawn. How many times can I get that done? Great job, Ben.
Yeah, great
Sean's
job, Ben.
favorite thing to do in the whole wide world is getting his blood drawn.
I've been bumped by a shark in the wild while surfing in the last year. I surf in the craziest conditions, jump in the ocean in freezing cold temperatures. Pretty much will do anything except, and the only phobic thing I have is getting my blood taken and like a needle into my veins. So
yeah,
that's
and for fun, when we were at Tenet Institute one time, they did this thing, I forget what it's called, but they drew his blood out and then like did something and then they put it back in. Like it was crazy.
This is like I would rather be bumped by a shark every hour. So Ben, awesome job. So let's talk to the judges.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So we have how many total? 6 judges.
We have 5 judges.
Okay. So let's go.
Yes. No. Wait. Yes.
Okay. So let me do.
No, we have 6 judges.
Okay. So
we do have 6 judges. So I got this.
3 and 3. Let me explain. Then you go 3 and 3. Good. Okay. So we're gonna go scale 1 to 10 assessment. First, we give some positive feedback, like what was awesome, and then a little bit of opportunity for growth, like nothing negative, critical. It's like, hey, there's an opportunity growth, an access point here. 30 seconds from each judge. Each judge will give 1 participant feedback, and then a score on a scale 1 to 10. Like a 1 is I would rather face plant in the Tony Robbins firewalk and stay there for 10 seconds with my face on fire. They continue this conversation with this person. A 5 is like, I might sit next to this person at a Tony event. A 10 is I would rather talk to this person than Tony Robbins. Take us in.
Ooh, that's good. All right, so let's start with Charlene. How about your feedback for Kevin? Just make sure you unmute.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
Well, I think Kevin did really well. And I would definitely score him about a 5, and I would like to sit next to him in an event. So, well, maybe I did that totally wrong. That's back. I mean, he was very confident, knew exactly where he was going, led the conversation very well. He has nice tone and inflection in his voice, and it was just really good to listen to. Beautiful. And I wasn't really looking at it for, it was an opportunity to get better, because I'm just going to have to pass on that. I just can't come up with anything.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Good job, Charlene.
All right, let's go. Charles, your feedback for Ben.
Ben,
I met with Charles yesterday, so it's somebody else.
I know.
You got Charles. Okay, so let's go. David, your feedback for Ben. And make sure you unmute.
See, she likes to be the boss.
You know what? I'm going to turn this over to my partner, Christy.
Nice. Let's
hear it, Christy. She's the boss too.
Yes. I'm not confused.
Yeah.
I'm the boss too. You go, boss.
Yes.
All right, Ben. I really felt comfortable with your presentation and your interaction, and I felt like very inside of me, my feeling was like being taken care of and feeling nurtured, and I could really feel that coming across from your heart. And so also you were like very confident and knowledgeable, and you had like a professional slant toward what you were doing, and it made me very interested in what you were doing and to want to know more.
Awesome. And your score for Ben?
My score for Ben is a 7.
Nice, Christy. All right, let's go with Pat. Your feedback for Kevin.
Yeah, for Kevin. So his presentation was great. He was definitely confident. I liked how he was searching for the positive or the challenges that you experienced to get you into the positives and on what you wanted to improve. My My only thing with Kevin would be to potentially, in terms of utilize the value of your time to get straight to the point instead of not sort of directing as he only had limited time for yourself. And I'd rate Kevin a 7.
Nice. Thank you, Pat.
Very nice. And let's go, Angelica, your feedback for Ben.
I had very similar feedback to you, Pat. I mean, you're talking to Oprah, right? So you want to get right to it. I think, but you again, you're very engaging and warm, and you didn't come across as like salesy in any way, but trying to get your kind of what your background is and what you do and what your area of the, what your interests are. So I thought that was really nice. And I would definitely give you a 6 and want to sit next to you, because I love all the things you're talking about are amazing. And yes, your mind and body and all that is so interconnected to how you just portray yourself out in the world. So I think you're awesome. And I don't have any other feedback.
Beautiful. Thank you, Angelica. And let's go with Charles, your feedback for Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. I thought that you were confident and made a great presentation with your material. You really care about what you do. And I would really rate you at least a 7 for that. The thing that I would step back on is I always have questions about the person's personality. So if you told me I want to get right to the bottom line, that'd be cool for me. I'm a Yankee. I want to get things done from New York, but that may be a real huge turnoff. So I would always ask, tell me what's the best outcome from a meeting together? What would you like to accomplish? And I think you'll get a lot of things from that open-ended question. So in my discovery meeting, I ask a lot of questions. I want to determine where they are, professionally and psychologically. And if I'm talking more than, say, 10% of the time, I think I've lost. So if you could really get them with some penetrating questions that you really care and be totally sincere about it. So when I try and do a discovery meeting with somebody, I'm really curious to find out who they are and what makes them tick.
Beautiful.
Great job.
And your score for him was a 7. That's right.
Thank you, Charles.
Awesome. Thank you, Charles. And last but not least, Patience, your feedback for Ben.
Ben, awesome. I would like to go Kevin as well, but I'll give Ben some feedback too. Ben, you're very direct, very confident, and definitely I'd want to sit with you. I would rate you 7, 8. And health is one of the ones I'm working on. So as you were talking, I liked your confidence. It almost paved a way to where I could see I could follow you because you were so confident in what you were saying. So kudos to you on that. And I liked how you tested things. It shows me that you're not just someone that's going to roll out this information and I'm going to have to figure it out. It seemed like you're going to walk me through it. And you're so confident. I know you would even help me when it gets hard. So
and
Ben,
your score for him was
8.
Awesome.
On Kevin, though, if I might just really fast, Kevin, you rocked it. I would want to sit down and meet with you as well. The questions, play with your questions constantly. And I would even get into Tony Robbins, the 6 human needs, and start pulling from those 6 human needs, because I liked how you were finding a negative and converting it to a positive. That is needed. That's really important. So pull questions from those 6 human needs. It'll open them up a little more. Don't start with your negative. Start talking about their 6 human needs.
Thank you so much, Patience. And did you give him a score?
Yes, I 7 on him. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
beautiful.
Awesome. So at this point, this fine, lovely, and amazing lady likes to put me into super uncomfortable positions. I'm assuming that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, because I'm the boss.
Because she's the boss.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is she's going to put my butt in the hot seat, just like our amazing participants from today. And I think what we could do, because we haven't done it this way in a little bit, is I
had a feeling you were going to try to boss this around.
Yes, I am. Yes,
because these are your people.
Because these are my people.
Yeah.
So under the table, can you see that there's a number down here?
I do see that there's a number.
Okay, so I'm not going to change it. So can you call one at a time to our fine guess? It's a number between 1 and 8 until somebody gets it. You can't say a number that somebody else said.
Okay, Patience, your number.
7.
Charlene, your number. Charlene, I'll come back to you. Angelica, your number.
8.
Okay, Charlene, it was 6. Charles.
3.
Pat.
1.
David.
4.
It is 4. Excellent job, David. So, yes, take it away. David's going to set the scenario.
So, David, you get to set up a scenario that Sean is going to go from hello to yes with. It can be any type of scenario that you want. It can be as easy as difficult. It could be something that is of service to you. Like, you want to see him go to yes to, how to get your next client. Or it could be like, he has role played. He has been
I think Tony Robbins, Oprah, presidents, all the people.
Yeah, it's been Oprah. It's been president. You have to Tony. I don't remember what you when you enrolled when you were Tony, what you were seeking the yes from.
Yeah, it could be like raising money for charity. It could be any yes. So David, any thoughts, or what are your thoughts on how to put me on the hot seat and create a scenario?
So just to make sure I understand, so my job is like you would be the one I want you to get from no to yes, or you want me to get from no to yes?
You would be setting a scenario of any type in the world. You can make me any person, or just be an attorney or an accountant or coach, or you can make me somebody else that I have to go from hello to yes.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the thing that is most relevant to my situation right now, which is that you're the decision maker at a company such as Verizon or Rivian or Link that I would like to license or purchase the 3 patents that I have on my mobile app.
Okay, so I would be you then, and would you like to be the person on the other end? So I'm the person that's got to get the yes. I'm on the hot seat.
Yeah. This is going to be fantastic, David and Christy. Yeah.
So David, real quick, the patents that you're seeking, that you have, what are these in?
These are in telecommunications, and they deal with maximizing the ability to communicate in very bad cell coverage. If there's no cell coverage, it won't work.
Okay, got it. So they maximize the ability.
And it also,
please.
And it also extremely accurately maps out where cell coverage is and is not, and where it's usable and where it's not. Because the little bars on your cell phone are not that accurate. The cell coverage maps they put out are not that accurate. This would be something
amazing.
Anyway.
Okay. And so you're an executive at Verizon?
Right. I'm an executive at Verizon. Yes. Or
gotcha.
We'll stick with Verizon. Or actually, you know what? Let's call it. I'm an executive at Link because that's where I've got the juice. Link is a company that is putting cell towers on satellites, and they're the company that is potentially putting my technology, making it obsolete. But I'm going to sell them on how they can use it for their own benefit and why they want my. Is this too complicated?
Nope. Perfect. So, and we did not set this up ahead of time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll be David. And how about you're Joe, the executive?
I'm Joe. Joe at Link. Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, Joe, thanks so much for this 3-minute meeting. I know you're just assessing whether it makes sense to proceed or not. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. And I'm going to honor your time. I'm going to keep us to the 3 minutes. So I'm doing really well, and I'm very grateful for the time to talk to you. But Joe, again, keeping our time parameter, what's the mission, the vision? I mean, I've read everything. I understand what Link is doing, but why do you do what you do? Like, what drives you? You're very successful. You've been successful for a long time. Why do you keep doing what you do?
Well, our mission and our vision is to eliminate all the dead spots in the world. So the world will be blanketed with cell coverage, and there's no more places on Earth where people cannot communicate.
And why does that matter to you, though, personally? Like, why do you keep building the mission and keeping it going forward?
Well, because at our company, we think about all the people in remote areas who don't have internet, don't have access to, can't communicate. And we figured out a cost-effective way to meet their needs by putting cell towers and satellites on low Earth orbit.
Awesome. And so, but this is not complete yet. Is that correct, Joe? But this is still the mission in progress?
Yeah, that's correct. Right at this point, we have gotten proof of concept. We have a satellite up there, and we successfully sent a text message to that satellite from a regular cell phone We have quite an IP portfolio, as you can imagine. We have backing from major corporations such as Verizon, and we're on fire. We're ready to make this happen.
Yeah. Well, Joe, congratulations. Because I think we could agree that one of the great challenges that exists for people, is that once we have something, we expect it and to be present all time. So, 20 years ago, the idea of making a phone call and having coverage in most places would have been beyond people's wildest dreams. 40 years ago, people couldn't even have thought about it. And now, as you know, people go crazy. So your company is about to be a multi-billion, trillion-dollar enterprise, I can see into the future, by solving these problems. And am I hearing you correctly that that's what you're up to?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So with that, obviously having the greatest degree of success at achieving this outcome is the most important part of the mission. I'm not confused. So would it be okay if I shared a little bit about something that might be interesting to you? We'll see if it is or not, for just about a minute or so. Joe, I lost you a little bit. Would that be okay with you? Okay, I will take that. I will take that as yes. So Joe,
yes.
Again, what I do and the mission I have in the world is to solve that very same problem. And I've taken many years of my life and developed a patented technology to create a couple of different things. I have 3 different patents. One of the things we've created literally assesses where the map is strong and not strong. So people have clear vision of where the cell coverage is and where it's not. But even more importantly, we've created a solution to eliminate dead zones also. And while I get that you have quite an IP portfolio and there's remarkable things that you're up to in the world, with the greatest respect and most absolute humility, our solution is even more effective and more powerful than how you're approaching this at Link. And so I know it's a bold claim, and again, I say it with great humility, but what I propose, if that's true, that could literally change the entire trajectory of your mission in your company. And all I'm proposing is a 30-minute conversation to review our IP. And if you like what you hear there, to continue in the progression of seeing if this is a solution that might make sense for you guys to acquire. Other possibilities are me going directly to Verizon, having some of a competition. You're extraordinarily ahead of me, obviously, in fundraising and building the company and all the things that you're doing. And quite frankly, I don't have a desire to compete at that level. What I would love to do is be acquired if this makes sense for Link. And with what we have, I can assure you that it does. And at the very least, it's worth a half an hour of review since we've gone as far as having this brief meeting. How does that resonate for you or not, Joe, to take a look at what we have?
I think he's actually having connectivity issues right now.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Okay, so we're having some connectivity issues for there. Yep. All right, awesome. Let's go. Thanks for that. So, can you hear me, Joe? I know. All right, Steph?
I think he said yes.
Yes. So, all right, excellent. So let's just go a quick roundabout. Pat, how did that feel for you? I know we had some technical challenges, but how did you feel about that approach?
Yeah, that was awesome. Your approach of looking at in terms of what David's mission was and the purpose of what they do, and then bringing in a solution to help him to continue to work on his mission and contribute to that mission instead of trying to, I guess, challenge him on that mission.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Pat. Angelica, how did you feel?
It was brilliant. It really was. It was just right. It was to the point, but not like overbearing. And it felt really like you were there to help and solve and partner. And, and you kind of mentioned the competition, which was great, because that just sort of said, hey, I'm making this happen. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go talk to other people. But I want to work with you because I am aligned with your goals and your mission, to do this. It's really important. So I thought it was awesome.
Thanks, Angelica. And David and Christy, are you guys back? Do we have them or no?
Yep.
David?
He's muted now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You're back.
Yeah.
Can you
So
hear
how did
me?
how did that feel for you?
That was awesome, and we missed a couple of little parts of it because it was cutting in and out. And so hopefully I can get a recording of it or something like that. Because I mean, that was exactly what I need right now, is that sort of coaching. And I just feel like, I've just been given a gift from heaven or something like that. Like it may as well have just been delivered by angels on a golden chariot. I mean, maybe it was. Who knows?
I think it was.
Yeah,
it was divine.
You know what? And I'm just doing this. So, and we don't do this, like, as this is popping up for me, and that just like hit me in the heart. And again, this is invitation with zero expectation. This is not, we don't offer this to people in the real raw. We're selling an event coming up that is the greatest influence training in the world. And with all you guys being here and just sort of divine connectivity, if any of you guys want to come as our guests, you're more than welcome to. And that's not like a come on, that's not like a pitch thing. We haven't done that with other folks. So if that would
He hasn't, because I asked me on the 3:00 show, I was like, can I invite them? And he's like, yeah, if they buy a ticket.
Yeah. So like, right. So, and then we're gonna have a few hundred people there. It's literally the greatest influence training in the world.
It is so good that Jay Abraham keeps actually like asks this man for feedback.
And you could watch each Real Raw. I mean, every day they're all recorded, and you can see that we don't do this. So that hit me in my heart. And so, David, beautiful job.
Wow.
So we'll let you guys know if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I would make it fit with all humility. So let's. How did that feel for you?
That was absolutely extraordinary, and I love when you can do hello to yeses that are truly serving. Like earlier it was like something political, but this was actually a give to David. It was absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, we let people, like, we've done all kinds of cool, fun things where I'm a President Biden or President Trump and Muhammad Ali, and I it's fun for me. I really enjoy it, but I prefer this.
Yeah,
like you just said.
Yeah, it makes more of a difference, and people can take something away, because then he can take that and go get yeses.
Yeah, and it's less for us and more for you. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's do a roundup. Let's go, Pat. How was your time on the Real Raw today?
Loved it. It was an amazing experience, and definitely love the way that you operate and what you do.
No, well, thank you, my friend, and thank you for. And let me just ask you. I heard you had said some beautiful things, and I heard them. What was the most impactful from How to Be a Plat for Life and Have It Pay for Itself Forever? What popped as most, something that hit you best? Because I know you said some really nice things.
I think it's the way of being able to serve as your number one priority, and without any expectations, and having that genuine connection, and coming from your heart was definitely the place that I felt. And I think if people came with that approach more, the world would be a better place.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that enormously. Thank you for being here, Pat, and at from the future in Australia. So thank you. Which are we going?
Let's go with Charlene.
Charlene, how was your time with us? Thank you so much for being here. Really honored to have all these fine folks from Platt. I think this is like only the first or second like fully Platt Real Raw we've ever done. We've done more than 500 shows. And so thank you, Charlene, for being here. How was your time?
It was eye-opening. I was not really sure what to expect. I was watching the video that you sent, and so I liked it. I love how we role play, and you help us with that. I'm a little tongue-tied right now. And I see the massive impact that this can have in going forward. So I really, really appreciate it. So thank you.
No, thank you. And the superpower of influence controls what we do with it, how we get ourselves to use it, controls our money, our time, and our magic. And that's something that actually this tall guy taught me a long time ago. And I asked Tony, I said, why are you not really teaching influence anymore? Because 24 years ago, I took his Competitive Edge program live at Madison Square Garden or Felt Forum, and it changed my life. It was a one-day program, and that like sent me on this journey. And I love the guy. And it's just, and yeah, we'll wrap up with that in a second. But Who should we go to next?
Let's go with Kevin.
Kevin, thank you. Wonderful job. And please, Kevin, what's present for you and how was your day today with us?
I want to say thank you first off for having me. I loved how you approached it. I didn't know what to expect or what the game was about. So to see you approach it from a heart-centered place taught me a lot and showed me a lot in the process.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you very, very much, and beautiful job, Kevin. And thank you for your courage and vulnerability of jumping into the participant seat. Patience, great job. Love the energy. How was your time with us?
Oh my, it is nothing but a gift, Sean. You and Bella and all of the people here, I'm taking notes constantly. My wrist hurts from BM1 plus all this. I cannot even write fast enough. But your humility, you're this amazing plat that everybody looks up to. And here you are just giving us love, giving us knowledge. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to be here. And sorry, I'm getting choked up, but it's people like you that are the changers. You are the leaders, and pretty soon we'll be the leaders. And it's a synergy, and everyone can gain. And just thank you. I just thank you for let me be here.
Oh my God, Patience. Thank you. When I joined Platt, some of you may have heard me share my story at different places and events. I didn't feel like I belonged. I'm blind. You've heard me say those things. And then even once I was a Platt, I didn't even know what to do for a long period of time. I had some incredibly selfless people like Mariah Brown, Bayman Zakari, Milo Seidel that introduced me, and I met people and things happened. And then even when I was invited into the Lions at first, the Lions would be there sort of back in 4 years ago, and it felt very exclusive. It felt very far away. And
yes.
My commitment was that I'm going to stand for something different. And I'm not a Lion for significance. I'm in that to change the world. I have enough trophies in my life. I haven't done a lot of things, but the things I've done, I feel good about, and I just want to create impact. So Patience, thank you for that comment that touched my heart, and I appreciate it very much.
You're definitely impactful. You're humble, your humility, and you're impacting. Believe me, Sean, you really are. Thank you.
Thank you. David and Christy, beautiful scenario. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate you guys more than ever, because we do have connection difficulties sometimes in the raw. So I hope all of your technology can come out to the world and make that go away. But David,
yeah.
how was your time? How was your time with us today?
I mean, it was. I felt my comfort zone massively stretched. I'm really grateful to Christy to here to support and be my backup and just help me to be my best self. I just felt, like I say, just watching how you articulated in the mock-up there. I was just going, okay, that's what I need to learn to do. And I feel like I've come to the right place, and I just can't wait to do the next thing.
No, well, thank you, brother. I'm immensely appreciative. And Christy, beautiful job as well.
And Sean,
sure. Yes, please.
I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your beautiful heart and your soul. I can really feel it, and it really comes through. And I have a special place in my heart for all of you guys on this call. And my life's work, I was an OT, occupational therapist. I had a pediatric occupational clinic, therapy clinic, and worked with kids with special needs for 32 years.
Wow. Well, thank you for the work that you did in all those scenarios.
And thank you for being.
Okie doke. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think Charlene, is Charlene with us?
Yes.
Okay. Charlene, how was your experience?
It was awesome. There's a ton of value that you've given me. And then also the giving with no strings, when we were talking about how to become a Platt, how to approach people in a gracious way, in a loving way, in a giving way. It just makes me want to bring as many apple pies as I can so you can all enjoy them with ice cream.
Yeah.
To any event I go to.
And I feel the heart. And just remember, team, that we also talked about pick a date, test, do things together. Because the heart is beautiful, but I know for a lot of people, and we need the heart, the math matters too, because for a lot of folks, this is a major investment of money, time, and energy. And it's vital to figure out who these teammates are for us inside that room and one step removed from the people in that room. So just keep that in mind, because there's such a draw to Platt for heart-centered folks. You know, there's some significance that floats, but it's less prevalent than you think. And it's more like, hey, let's like get on the field and play the game. So beautiful, and as you've done today. So I want to see who hasn't shared yet. I think we talked to Charlene, David, we talked to Angelica, Patience.
Charles?
No, Charles. Yes, and forgive me, guys, remember I can't see. So Charles, thank you again for your service and for being here today. How was your time with us?
Well, it was fantastic. The thing that really resonates with me is giving the massive value first. I mean, that is what you've hammered home on both the Sunday, how to be a Platt for life, give the value first. And you just gave massive value by coaching us today and the opportunity to come to an event. So I just think that that's the key. And if there's any way that we together can make a small dent in the universe to help people and help each other. And then the realism about, yeah, we have a great heart, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of our responsibilities, our needs, our businesses. Like if you went to Business Mastery, don't starve the baby.
Yeah, brother.
Feed the baby.
Feed the baby.
And this is what it's about. And we want to be Platts for life. So we want to make sure that we can contribute to the world, make a dent in the universe, have fun doing it. And I appreciate you hammering that home. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, brother. And I've had, you know, I've had some dear friends in Platt and people who were there and welcomed me in. And it was just like, yeah, this is my Platt year. This is my Platt year. But they didn't want it to just be their Platt year. And like Charles, like you just echoed, that there's folks that have made this work so unbelievably for themselves ongoingly. Like, I don't know anybody who regrets doing that. I don't know anyone. I know a lot of people. But I do know people who want to be here for forever. And that's part of my commitment and my give back to Tony and building our mission. And it's a beautiful thing. So Charles, I love you being the straight shooter you are. And I love feeling your intentionality and your heart. So thanks for being here, brother.
I'll see you soon, Sean.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Charles. Anybody who we haven't shared yet, again, forgive me for with the optics of all the people. Ben, I'm sorry, brother. Last but certainly not least, Ben, how was your time?
It was absolutely incredible. I really give you kudos for developing the skill set that you have, because when you communicate, you're congruent even though you're using somebody else's information. So to be able to do that, to be able to absorb the information quickly, to be able to deliver it, to be able to sound like you know what you're talking about with literally just bits of information in a short period of time, it's really incredible. And when you guys started the call, I mean, I love your guys' energy. And you guys have such a infecting energy, which is incredible. So I know you guys have to work on that, and I can tell you guys have done this a lot. When you said you have 500 calls, yeah, it definitely shows.
Yeah, and thank you, Ben, enormously. When Tony said that I've studied Tony's work for, it's now in the 25th year, and it has been so profoundly impactful in every conceivable way in my life. And in the beginning, though, Tony talked about when he joined Toastmasters, and other people were like, yeah, I'm going to talk once or twice a month. And Tony was talking 3 times a day. And I have a lot of things that I'm suboptimal in, but I'm a pretty strong modeler. And I'm like, all right, that's what the dude said. And it worked out for him. And he started out as a janitor. My God, he didn't have anything. He had an abusive household. So what can we do? So Ben, thank you. And yeah, I speak now 4 to 5 times a day. And I am very grateful. And I will tell you this, and I wish I had more time to share all the things. I've seen Tony in front of the camera, and I've seen him behind the scenes. I've seen Tony in some really complicated situations, and I've seen him make the most integrous and giving decisions. I've watched him in his home with 29 people there of Lions. I've watched him in front of 15,000 people. That guy wants to give and serve. And if he could take himself and chop himself into all these little molecules and give everybody a Tony molecule, he would. And he's the real deal. Nobody's perfect. I am far from perfect. Tony's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But his heart is so unbelievably pure. And if he could figure out more ways to get pieces of himself, he would. And I honor him and love him to no end. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being a part of this chosen family. Thank you for being a part of our chosen family. And final from you. And I truly mean this with all of my heart, to my better half. And I mean that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is an honor and a privilege to, do this show every single day, and sometimes now twice a day. And to have so many incredible people come here and to watch you do your magic moments, because I love when you do them that serve people too, like where people really get to take something away and get to model. You talked about modeling, and where now David can take this and he can model that and he can get his yeses. Like that is actually of service, and to watch you give your gift to people every single day is absolutely incredible. And I remember being in the room in October of last year when Tony Robbins, in the middle of an intervention, and you guys all know Tony, so chairs are flying, coffee mugs are flying, like all kinds of craziness. And in the middle of it, he has Sean stand up, and he turns to him and he says, like, I can't even do this anymore. Like, you coach this guy. And he introduces Sean as his coach. He says, let me introduce you to my coach, Sean Callaghy. And then Sean's like kind of doing the intervention, and he and Tony are going back and forth. And then in the middle of it, Tony just stops and he comes and he stands behind Sean and he puts his hand on Sean's heart, and he has one hand on his own heart. And he says in front of the entire room that there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghy. And if you don't know what he's up to, you need to. And I'm just watching as like tears are streaming down Sean's face, because one, like Tony doesn't endorse anybody. And so you knew that moment was from his heart, and that he truly recognized the work that Sean is doing in the world. And so it's an honor and a privilege. And I learn so much from you humbly every day, because I didn't come here thinking I was going to learn a lot, and I have learned so much. And I'm so grateful, and thank you for the difference that you make with all of these fine folks.
Oh, thank you. And I know we've gone over, and thank you for sharing. I really look at my job, and I said it from the beginning, as somebody in Platt, is to add that value, create that cohesion. And I saw opportunities to cause benefit for people in Platt and close some gaps, because gaps everywhere. I have gaps who have gaps, and I look at Tony as a big brother, an uncle, but ultimately a coach. And when I grew up, the term coach was a term of reverence. I had sight. I played 3 high school sports. I was a Division I college athlete, captain of my team at Columbia. And when we used the word coach, as I grew up in a tiny, town in New Jersey, it was sacred. And so I do call Tony Coach. And thank you for being here, all of you. I appreciate the opportunity, the privilege of your time, your energy, and thank you for the opportunity to learn from you. And I love to say this, and I believe it's true. I am blind.